right. Thank you, Ed. I'm excited to be here and be able to share some things with you guys, a little bit of my story and some tips with you guys. How good was Luby? That was incredible. I'm sure you all felt those nerves. It's like you're on the phone and sometimes you just hope they don't even answer, right? So you don't have to have that conversation. And then in real time hearing those, concerns, well, do I really have time for this? Or can you tell me more? What's this really all about? That's kind of the way it goes, right? And the cool thing is, just the more you do it, the better you get at it. And so I remember for me, so like Ed said, I started with Nu Skin back. It was actually about 9 years ago now. As a college student. I was actually pre-med at the time. And I thought that's the route I wanted to go. I wanted to be a doctor. I've got 8 uncles that are doctors. My mom's a nurse. My dad's in medical device sales. And I thought, hey, that seems like a great way to be able to help people and make a great living, and around that time, I was introduced to Nu Skin as well. And actually, at the very beginning, I said no. My brother came and talked to me, said, hey, I'm doing Nu Skin. He talked about the what and the how, but he never talked about the why. And so at first I said no, but then, he went to some events and, really caught that bigger picture. And he came back and he started talking to me about his why, right? And about being able to live a different kind of quality of life, right? Being able to have both the money, also the time to enjoy it, being able to travel, being able to live life on his own terms. And that spoke to me. And I thought, you know what? I want that too. And I realized, that this is a business where if you're a person that's a hard worker, right, that you're going to give your very best effort in everything that you do. I saw that Nu Skin was a vehicle, a business that could reward me better than other things out there that I could do, right? And so there's a lot of different ways to make money, but what I remember my mentor Brent Bryson sharing with me when I first got started was he's Circuit Excellence 4 Team Elite, been with the company 30 plus years. And he just said, there's no other career that will be more satisfying than building a successful Nu Skin business. And the reason why is because you get to have this global family of people. You get to help others. And it's just, you get so much joy from seeing other people make these transformations in their life with both their mindset and how it impacts their life financially, right? And also physically, the benefits they get from the products and from the the health products and on the outside as well. And so for me, I got to a point where I got out of college and I realized, if I didn't find a way to really be my own boss, I was gonna have to work for someone else for the rest of my life and never have control over my time or my income. And I had to really look around and say, okay, the people that are doing what I'm doing, but they're 5, 10, 20 years down the road, what kind of life do they have? Right? Because if I didn't make a change, that's where I would be. That's where you're going to end up, right? If you just keep doing, if you just follow the path that others have followed, you're likely going to get their same results. And so for me, what I loved was that Nu Skin allowed me to start being able to build something for myself, right? And it's been a fun experience. And so it's my opportunity today to be able to talk about presenting, right? How do we share the opportunity? And Luby did a great example of, how we can invite, right? And a similar slide to this where she had, things with, over the phone or social media or WhatsApp using NS Intro, right? Different ways to share the business. And so, how this looks, and we saw her invite, right? So there's different ways to present the opportunity. Right? It might be as simple as a phone call, right? And talking to somebody and, or, via FaceTime, right? And having a conversation. Or it could be, doing a post on social media. You might do a post on social media, whether it's a post or a story on Facebook or Instagram, and share your story, right? Talk about what you're doing, why you're doing it, right? And it's kind of a brief, a short presentation of what are some of the benefits that we experience from this business? What are some of the compelling reasons of why to do this business, right? And why you're doing it. It might be a Zoom call where you're going to, share your screen and show some slides and go through a slideshow presentation of the business. It might be, Zoom or FaceTime where you're gonna, like Luby's doing a spa party, right? Having all the people get their glass of wine, have a good time, hang out. demo the products, make it fun, make it interactive, right? So leveraging technology. Another way to present is, and this is something that I've done a lot, is using a short video to give somebody an introduction to see if they're open to learning more about the opportunity. When I first started, this was back really before we used a lot of social media, and if you're going to do a full, we call it the 5-point presentation I'm going to talk about in a minute. If you're going to go drive across town, meet with somebody, sit down for an hour, show them the product, show them the business, drive home, you're an hour and a half into it to meet with one person. Then especially if your time is very limited, that might limit your time, right? That might limit how quickly you can go. But what my mentor, Brent Bryson, taught me was that, if you've got just 1 hour to work your business, you could contact 20 people in that 1 hour and let the tools do the heavy lifting for you, right? And so that's what I've done. I've, always used a short video like NS Intro to be able to get the information in front of somebody, give them a teaser, give them an introduction, and see, if kind of that weeding, filtering process, right? To see who's really interested, who's not, just so that you can be smart with your time, right? And then as a second step, being able to invite them to a meeting. This is a meeting from one of my leaders in Peru, Julissa, that we did at the Nu Skin, what do they call it? Their experience center in Lima, Peru, right? Where you have people get in person. We're maybe not doing so much of that right now with COVID, but you can meet one-on-one with people. You can meet at Starbucks or whatever, to be able to show the product, show the business. And so, it all starts off, as Luby talked about, with, with that invitation, right? Reaching out. And sometimes it's done just with a post to start that conversation, or it might be, kind of putting information out there, waiting for people to come to you, or it might be that you're going directly to people. You say, hey, this is someone that I want to have in my business. I want to engage with them, and I want to make sure that they can see a presentation to make an educated decision on if this is something they want to do or not. I don't have, basically none of my good friends from high school and college have joined my Nu Skin business, actually zero. And several of them, unfollowed me on social media, right? So you find out who are your real friends, right? And so sometimes we go through that where people don't see the same vision that you see. But my approach was, look, it doesn't matter to me if you do this or not. I want you at least to come and check it out so you can make an educated decision on whether this is for you or not. And I know that my job is just to educate and get the information out there and let them decide whether they want to do it or not. And if someone says no, I feel good as long as I've done my part to be able to educate them and make sure that they, have that knowledge, right? That they can make that decision with. And so really what we share when we're presenting the business is, number one, your story, then also the Nu Skin story. Okay. So, and I would say your own personal story of why you're doing this and where you're going is your most powerful recruiting tool. Okay. Because people buy into, why you're doing it versus so much what you do, right? So it's so important that you share why you're doing this, that you be real with people, that you share maybe some of the struggle that you've experienced in the past, right? Maybe it's a lack of time, it's lack of money, it's a lack of health, or, you found a way to improve your skin, right? What is that compelling reason of what did you want to change? Okay. And how is Nu Skin the solution? Because that allows other people to also use that as a filter over their own life to say, well, yeah, just like you, I'd really like to improve my financial situation. I'd really like to have more time. Okay. And then the Nu Skin story, people make decisions based off of emotion. And so when we're presenting, you want to be sharing that your story and your why, and they back those decisions up with logic, right? And so the Nu Skin story also brings in a lot of logic as far as who is Nu Skin, why is Nu Skin a trustworthy company? And why is right now a compelling time to get started? And so one of the first things that you need to learn how to do is learn how to tell your story. Okay. So hopefully you guys are following along and using the worksheet that we have to go along with the workshop. And so I want to actually walk through with you guys. I want you to take some time to write your story. Okay. So, the easy part here is to write your name, where you're from, your background. And if you're talking to a buddy, you might not say, "Hey, I'm Nick. I'm from Lehigh. I, did this in the past." But this may be more from stage, right? Or if you're on a Nu Skin call presenting to people that don't know you, right? You're going to share that. However, I think the most important part is why Nu Skin, right? And what do you really love about it? What's the best part, like you see here on the screen? So when you're talking about why Nu Skin, I like to talk about what was the struggle you were experiencing before, right? Or what was the situation that Nu Skin was the solution for, right? Maybe you already made a great living, but you didn't have the time, the freedom of your time like you wanted to have. Or maybe, you had all the free time, but you had no money, right? Different situations we could be in. And so when I tell my story, I always share my background is, I've got a background working in sales, right? And what has, had success in that career. But I had to travel a lot, be away from my family. And eventually I got to a point where I felt stuck. And I started to question and ask myself, is this what I'm going to do every day, day in, day out for the next 30 years of my life, and never have control over my time or my income, right? So I'm kind of painting that picture of what was that struggle that I experienced, right, that Nu Skin helped me to solve. Okay. And so talking about whether your experience, maybe it was a product experience, right? Whatever that was, and saying, how was that product a solution for you, right? And now why are you now sharing these products and doing this as a business? Okay. And so including, part, it says what the best part is, right? And I actually, let me go into a little bit more why Nu Skin, right? So what was that pain point that you had previously? Because when you share that pain point, it makes you relatable. If you just come in and say, I've got the best business, the best products, you can make tons of money, it feels like you're just trying to hype somebody up, right? It doesn't always sound super authentic and genuine. And sometimes people put up this like sales resistance, this barrier, because they don't want to be sold, right? They feel like you're a salesperson. Versus when you can just be real and share your own personal experience of, hey, here's why I'm doing this. Here's why, I feel confident being partnered with Nu Skin in these products. The best part is, and here's where I'm going, right? So hopefully as I'm talking, you guys can be writing some of this down, right? Write down, what is that pain point that you wanted to solve, right? That motivated you to get into Nu Skin. Okay. What's your favorite part so far? What do you love about it? What gave you the confidence to say, I'm going to partner with Nu Skin and work hard to build this, right? And then even if you can share a little bit of your vision of where you're going, right? When my brother first came to me, he said, hey, I'm doing Nu Skin. Here's how we're going to do it. He didn't share the why. He didn't share the vision of, what he wanted to create. But once he did, it spoke to me, right? I felt it. And I said, okay, I think, what? From the story my brother told me that was compelling to me, and I felt like he really believed it, right? And I said, what? Just like that person just said to Luby, I'm going to look at this because I trust you, right? I decided to take a look because the story my brother told me, and because I trusted him, right? So just to keep in mind, people do business with people that they know, that they like, and that they trust. Okay, so hopefully you guys have written some of that down, right? As far as sharing where you're going, it could be, I'm working to qualify for a trip to Hawaii and I want to, help other people come with me. Or it could be, we're launching a new collagen product and, here's my vision of what we want to accomplish as we launch collagen, as we launch the boost, right? Here's where I see myself going with this business over the next, 6, 12, 18 months. Right. And I'm looking for great people. I'd love for you to be a part of this. Right. So take some time and write down your story. You should have this memorized. You should be able to, someone wake you up at 4 a.m. and say, okay, what's your story? Right. What's your 60-second story? And being able to tell it, right? What's that pain point that you're experiencing? How is Nu Skin the solution? why did you decide to join Nu Skin? What's the best part? And where do you see yourself going? Okay, so hopefully you've been jotting down some of those, bullet points. And I recommend you take time this weekend, because if you can learn how to share this in a compelling way, this can be such an effective and important recruiting tool. Okay. So, and now getting into the Nu Skin story, right? The Nu Skin story traditionally that we share within OTG is talking about the 5 key points. And we do these every Wednesday night at 7 p.m. Mountain Time in the Facebook group, OT One Team Global Live. It's also via Zoom. But this is where we share, what makes Nu Skin the perfect business, right? What makes Nu Skin the best business opportunity out there? Number one, we talk about the market trends, products and technology, company, sales compensation, and timing, right? Why is not right now and it like such an exciting time to get started? And so you want to learn how to tell this story, right? What are the trends that work in our favor in the marketplace that are just like the wind behind our back, right? The wind in our sails to blow us forward, right? That we're taking advantage of, that's causing that people are coming to us, that people are looking for what we have, right? What's so great about the products and technology? Why is Nu Skin such a great company to partner with, right? Why is this a powerful way to earn an income, right? And the timing, as far as, why should someone get started right now? Why should somebody not wait? And why should they get started now versus waiting 6, 12, 18 months down the road? Okay. And you can actually find the OTG business briefing that shows the 5 key points. Go to otg.global, go to downloads, and then you can download it in a PowerPoint, Keynote, or PDF format in both English and then also Vietnamese. So those resources are there for you. And then as far as doing presentations, I would recommend, with your team to have your own business presentations that you do, right? Find whatever way works for you and your team to get the story out there, right? Maybe it's going on Facebook Live with your leader and sharing that story, or maybe it's a Zoom call, but you obviously also want to leverage the OTG presentations that are done every week, right? So we have the business briefings every Wednesday, 7 p.m. Mountain Time. We have, Blue Diamonds and Team Elites that are sharing those 5 key points. What's the Nu Skin story? And why is right now a compelling time to get started? And why should you not waste time and get started today, right? So it's a phenomenal resource to be able to plug in your prospects so they can hear from some of the top leaders in the business that have, that know what they're doing, right? That have told this story probably thousands of times, and so it's one of the best opportunities to get your people in front of these presentations so that your people have the best chance of really seeing that bigger picture. Then also, throughout the month, we do the science luncheons as well, where we're going to tell the product story that Nu Skin offers. And so, my final thoughts are that, it can be a little bit scary to get out there and invite and to present the business, but you get better as you do it, right? They always say that, training doesn't work, work trains, right? I think a combination of both is good, but really, the more you do it and the faster you start just getting into action, the faster you're going to get really good at doing this business. And so anyway, that's it from me today. Hope this was helpful, and thanks for having me on, you guys.